Hi there, Leo. I'm going to be reading for your November 2020 reading. So, let's see what's going on. If you do end up liking this channel, please subscribe. I'm new here. I've been reading for more than half my life, and I just decided to finally do a YouTube channel. So, the energy that we got right off the bat, starting off, is the tiger. Okay, so there's this sense of inner knowing going on. You see the moon right there in the third eye. There's a sense of balance that's happening. You've undergone some sort of transformation where you have realigned with yourself. Let's go ahead and pull another one just to see the basic, if there's any other energies complementing this or contrasting it. I really just want to see what else comes out. Oh, MG, we got the Panther. Like, wow. So I'm not sure if the Panther's a night animal as well. I want to say that it is, but the Panther definitely represents facing some stuff. It represents, like, it almost is like the Tower card in a way, but in a totally awesomely cool, good way. Like, if you ever need some energy, the Panther is such a great card to have, and the Tiger. Like, you can't get any more incredible than that. But there's this sense of, with this, like, inner eye, this third eye thing going on with the Tiger, of, like, facing and confronting your shadow self. Either you have already done that, or you're in the process of doing that. There's a passion within you. There has been for some time, and you've been learning how to tame the lion. And so there's a really beautiful, strong energy going on here. I love the Panther. And of course, I love the Tiger as well. And so these are both solitary night animals, which is telling me night represents shadows, represents dealing with yourself. Okay, so let's see what comes up in your tarot reading for the month of November 2020. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising. Some people resonate with one over the other. So we have this taming the dragon or the lion or whatever right here with the Two of Wands. Okay, so you're like, all right, I took a step back. I'm right here. And I am just going to wait. Like, there's not much I can do, because I know that when I act on my emotions, or impulsively, things are just not turning out the way that I want. Things have not been going the way I want them to go. Let's see what's crossing that energy of this sort of, like, also, there's this sense of, like, I have the world in my hands. I could make a choice energy. What do I want to do? There are many options in the world. Okay. So we have this energy of Five of Sky, which is the Five of Swords energy, okay? So what this represents is a little bit of shadiness, a little bit of like, if you were to act on your emotions in this situation, there's a sense of it not really being as harmonious as it should be. So there's that sort of, like, balance that you're trying to have right now, where you're determining whether you should engage with this type of energy or not. So there's some sort of, like, competitive energy going on right now, and it doesn't have to mean competitive in the traditional sense. It's just like a certain type of energy that you're like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. So let's see, and also, like, this could represent the competitive energy within yourself. Like, you're emotional, like, you're so fiery. You know, it's lovely. There's this like big fiery, you know, emotional sense, especially as of late, where, you know, intellect and fire can sometimes create more fire. And so there's this sense of like, hey, you know, like with this two of wands, you're like, hey, look how calm those two candles look right there. You're like, I'm just gonna calm down because I know what happens when I interact with this energy right here. Like, I know what happens. I know it's I mean, look, like, how scandalous. Like, look at that poor Sphinx. It's like, oh my god, oh, I'm all alone. And all these cats are like upset at me for no reason. And, you know, I don't like this energy. I don't like becoming those mean bad cats. And I don't like being the Sphinx either because, you know, who wants to have no hair? Like, especially as a lion, like, that's your pride, you know, metaphorically. Like, you know, you don't want your ego to be tampered with. Like, you don't want your ego to be like put down some alley where, you know, you're just down some alley and it's just not like a grounded or stable place. Like, you want to explore a different type of love energy, not like this, you know, like I'm surviving for myself type energy, which sometimes can be the Leo journey, you know, especially as a solitary lion. You know, Leos are so gregarious and just extroverted and harness so much positive energy, but then Leos are actually quite independent and could be lonely if they don't know how to deal with those cankerous times. So forgive me, please, if I am speaking out of turn because every Leo is different. I have definitely had my fair share, especially in, I would say, the first 75% of my life, because I just karmically, I've always had something with Leos, and I'm not a Leo. So I'm definitely not a Leo, but I can feel the energy pretty good. But I love Leo, trust me. Very attractive sign. All right, dears. You have the Six of Swords in your, like, focusing on position, your beneath you energy. This is a cat, okay? This is the card of walking away, okay? So I'm really gonna just go back to that same point that I'm making over here with this card of the, you know, poor little Sphinx. Look at it. Oh, you know, you're like, I don't know if I want to deal with that stuff going on back there. Like, that's out of my hair. Like, that's just too much. I don't want to do it. I am tired. Like, I just don't want to deal with that energy. It's like not even a harmonious energy, you know. And this could be in your external environment, or this could be internal, like something to do within yourself and your own constructs of your mind. So it could be both, even like one reflecting the other. And so, like, there's this sense of like almost like loss of pride in yourself and confidence, but you are walking away. So that's not always a bad thing. You're like, I'm going on this journey. It's almost like a hermit journey, right? Where I'm going to figure things out. Let's see what's in your past. Yeah, I love picking up on the Leo energy. In particular, you know, some signs are easier to pick up on than others. Okay, dears, we have the Ten of Fire, which is the Ten of Wands. And this is the burden. This is a burden card. This is like a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of like things going wrong. Like, just like a lot of, you know, just too much. There's too much going on here. I mean, look at these cats right there. Like, they're worried, and, you know, there's a fire going on, and, you know, these arguments here, and, you know, this destruction there. And, you know, there's this sense of like, should I like keep trying, you know, like with the regular rendition of the guy with all the wands on his back. He used to go take him up the hill, and, you know, sometimes there's consequences with that, with taking all the things up the hill. You know, you have to decide, like, oh my God, like, I have to climb this mountain and I have all these things on my back. You know, like in this card, they're like in this building and they have to run out of the building, but where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? So, you know, it might be cold outside and you might be all alone. And this burden that you have been faced with, some sort of burden that you've been faced with in the past, you know, some sort of really messy energy. You know, this could either have been within yourself, or it could have either been from others, or some sort of environmental thing. And it's just like, you know, a catch-22. It's like either way, you know, you're sort of stuck. So let's see what your present situation is bringing you. I'm assuming it's bringing you some sort of clarity, because you've been through some hard stuff. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is pretty cool actually, because what it's telling me is that you are leaving that whole like burdensome, being out in the cold, like, you know, not having anywhere to go energy, and now you're like getting nurtured, right? So there's a real sense of like wanting to be nurtured, or you are getting nurtured, and you're giving yourself the things that you need, either in your house, either with food, either with, you know, taking baths or breathing, or even just inner reflection. Okay, I know it all sounds like the same old stuff everyone says, like take care of yourself, but where's the fun stuff, right? Unfortunately, that's life. But you know, there's this real like lovely sense right now in the right now, like in November, you know, the energy that you're coming into at some point is like, it's really like you're almost like taking a break. I want to say it's almost like recovery from this stuff. Your near future for November. Okay, so we have the moon energy, and it looks like you're still going to be going through this sense of recovery where you're like, okay, all this stuff has happened. You know, maybe you tried to like jump off the mountain into the water, and what happened was, you know, that burden card of like, oh no, like there's sharks in the water. Like it's not just all one thing, like, oh, and there's bears over there, and, you know, all these things going on, and, you know, you better make sure you can swim. Like, it seems like you're still going through this journey right here where you've like learned a lot about yourself, but you're still going with the flow. So with this card, like, don't oppose the moon, just let that sort of like path take you, you know, where it needs to go, because it's actually, and honestly, it could be like a very beautiful path. Like, look at all these beautiful little like glowing, you know, like nature, like the little like firefly and just pretty mushrooms. But that cat is like on guard. Okay, so there's that sense again, Leo, of facing, you know, your shadow side. So we go back to like the tiger and the panther, where, you know, you're really facing that inner like truth, you know, that knowing of just like, like there's a real beautiful sense of self-discovery going on. And I think you've accepted that. I think you've, you know, you're strong, and you like, you know, that this is your path right now. And so how you perceive yourself, we have the 10 of C, which is the 10 of Cups. This is a pretty positive card. It's saying that you see yourself as wanting, there's some sort of emotional way that you're seeing yourself. So you see like all this stuff going on, you know, like I want to say it's almost like you see yourself as wanting these things. Like you see yourself as wanting, you want it. Like you really want it. Like look at that crab at the bottom. Like that represents Cancer, which is emotions. And, you know, like you want like that emotional, you know, compass of like support. And I bring up Cancer because Cancer is your sister sign, which is right before you. So oftentimes the signs that are like right before or right after us have significance in some way because we like are their backbone or vice versa. And so there's this emotional like sense of like, you know, you perceiving yourself, you know, like when somebody hasn't been with someone for so long, they feel lonely, and they like really lonely, you know, like unable to handle it, lonely, like that sort, like, oh my God, it's like painful, right? And so there's this sense of like, you know, I think you're seeing yourself as like really like lonely, like really wanting to have that happiness. Okay? And that's okay to feel that. That is okay to feel that. You are meant to confront these emotions that you're having so that you can be strong and grow. So when you do have that happiness, you know, when you're ready for it, it'll be, whether you're in a partnership or not right now, you know, there will be a time where you are more aligned to accept this energy. Also, if this is concerning health or finances, this is going to represent, it's the same thing like when you feel insecure about like where you are in your career path and you're like, oh, like I should be there, you know, but I'm here. And so it's the same sort of like perception. And so perhaps you are, you know, seeing yourself as that, like just lack of. So your environment, what's going on in the environment for Leo? Okay. So we have the Ten of Sky, which is the Ten of Swords. There's some shit going on. And there's something going on here, okay? The Ten of Sky energy, I mean, whew, wow. But look at this poor guy. Like, he has one eye. I mean, there's something definitely like stagnant in your environment. He's been through a lot, okay? And I am taking this as, you know, things are just not looking as happy and excited as they usually have, or maybe they never have, and you just are realizing, you know, like how dull things might be in your physical space. Like it could even be like things are the same that they always are, which, you know, is not, kind of sucks, right? It's like, oh God, this is it. This is how it has to be. Like every day I have to like, you know, come home or wake up to this, and, you know, everything's like a mess or just in the same spot. And it becomes hard to like break a cycle too, you know, to like do something new. So I'm going to challenge you to do something new, even though it's, you know, the pandemic and it's hard. I'm going to challenge you, even if it's to write in your journal or sing or dance or something. Just challenge yourself this month 3 times to do something. And it could be the same thing. It could be like, I danced to ballet 3 times, or modern, or, you know, sing karaoke. Like, just see how that changes your vibration, just as an experiment. I would also say maybe even be experimental. So there's just like a recovery, honestly, going on here. And that's okay. That is okay. It's the Ten of Swords, that, you know, the guy that has the swords in his back, and he's like, you know, usually that means end of cycles. And so, you know, there could be some end of cycle going on where you've just gone through this whole like thing, and now you're reflecting. So, you know, you're seriously going That's what it is. There's an end of cycle thing happening with you, Leo, and you are really going to be rounding the corner. No pun intended on rounding the corner either, if you get what I mean, with all the stuff going on in the news. And like, honestly, like, there's this thunder, there's this lightning bolt here, and like, you know, things might seem scary, but you're like, you've been through it. Like, you've already been through it. You're like, you know what, nothing else could scare me at this point. Like, there is a little bit trepidation. There's a little bit of fear of like, oh man, like, like I feel stuck. Like I have to deal with this. Oh my gosh, there's that sense. That's the root of the problem, actually. There's it right there. There's the root. You know, see that what that's behind you? You know, what you have to deal with? This is in your focus position. What is beneath you is also meant to be what is the energy that you are to focus on. All right? So if this is what are you to focus on, then what does that mean? Are you to focus on walking away? Or are you to focus on confronting the problem? Or are you to focus on both? You, my dears, are to focus on both, because we have this tiger and this panther. The panther is representing the third eye of this tiger. Okay, the tiger knows what it's doing. It's going through the night. The panther does as well, but it needs to be tamed in the context of this. You have this passion, this energy, and this destruction happening, this cycle that's ending, and you are really trying to manage this sort of equilibrium. And so with this moon card right here, you are going forward on edge, hair a little bit up on your back, on your shoulders. You know, you're crouched down. You're crouched down. You know, like you're almost like in recovery mode there. You're crouched down and you're trying to figure out, you know, what happens next. But I mean, it's just been like not the best. So let's see what your hopes and fears are. Okay, we have the Three of Sky, which is the Three of Swords card. Okay, so this is the heartbreak card. Look at all these creepy cats. I mean, check out that one on the top, like all of them. The one on the top is all like, I'm gonna push this glass down. I'm gonna push it down. I'm gonna hurt ya. You're gonna get hurt. And then the one below, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna run over, I'm gonna chase you. And then you have that orange one back there that's like, I'm with them too. I'm with them too. I'm part of the heartbreak. And then you just like have this whole junkyard going on here. And, you know, it's like, hey, Dumpty Dumpty, he fell down and he broke. Like, that cat's just dumping all this stuff. He's breaking it all up. And then this other cat's like thinking, should I break that too? And so there's this fear of if you confront what's going on inside or the situation, like you're just going to be hurt. You're just going to be hurt more. And these cats are so annoying. It's almost like a fly or like a nuisance, you know, that you have to deal with. It could even be your loneliness. So let's go ahead and look at your outcome position. But let me just reiterate, it's okay that your Three of Sky energy right there, it's okay that you have that in your fears and hopes position. It doesn't even matter what position it's in, okay? I mean, whatever position it is, we're going to make the best out of it because you need to go through this. You know, if you're hearing and listening and resonating with this reading and everything, like, you know, you need to go through this because, you know, this is part of your path. And I think what you fear is that heartbreak. It's that loss. You know, that's like the underlying fear. Like, what if I don't get it? You know, what if I'm forced to just face my own emotions in this? Let's see what your final outcome position is for the month of November. Okay, 2 came out. One of them I actually was hoping would come out. I thought it was going to come out in this reading. Remember when I was talking about recovery? Well, the recovery card is the 4 of Cups. I mean, not the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Swords. And right here, we have the 4 of Swords as well. And it's the Rest card. Look at that cocoon. But we also have intellect coming in with the King, Sky. Oh, man. It doesn't get any better than this. You got some serious, like, reflection going on here. With that moon energy coming up in the near future for November, and then like your overall outcome energy being like, I'm going to accept the rest. Like, you are accepting the rest, right? It's really cool, actually. You are accepting the rest. You are accepting that you are going to rest. You are accepting that, you know, you need to think about things, and that you need to face the issue, and that you need to make some decisions, and you know, and you're going to value yourself. You're going to value your rest. You're going to value your peace. You're going to value your state of mind, because going through this back and forth is like really tiring, you know, and it's easier to say than to do. It's so easier to say than to do. It's hard being in a situation where your emotions rule the situation, and you know, but then your mind is like, knows better. And so I think you're going to give yourself some sort of rest this month in whatever way that means for you. And you're going to really like come to terms with something. And you're going to like set something straight. So something that's been maybe bothering you about this whole issue, you're going to really like take charge, okay? Whether this is in the finance sector or your health, or something to do with that sort of security and managerial, you know, paperwork, or with relationships, of course. You know, you're really, really going to set something straight. Like, you're going to get really clear about something, and you're going to like sit with yourself, and you know, you've really been through like these emotions, and it's a sad situation, you know, like with that whole cat with the, you know, damaged eye. It's you know, you are in a place right now where you're nurturing yourself with that 6 of Pentacles energy, and you're like, you know what, I deserve love. Like, I deserve love. Like, I deserve to take care of myself. I deserve, you know, to like be with myself, even if it means that others might be hurt, you know, whatever hurt might mean. I mean, if this is for you, then that's maybe what you need. And if this is for finances, this is good, because you are deciding what it is that you want. So yes, I see like a really like grounded month, actually, and just, you know, reevaluating and reassessing those emotional needs that you have. So anyway, Leo, thank you so much for joining me. If you have stuck with me and you like this, I encourage you to subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel, and I really appreciate your support. Otherwise, have a wonderful November. Bye.